Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Where's my partner?
Are we on? Babe, can you see me? Hello?
Hey.
Bad. I think we have a bad connection. Hold on, let me connect to my Wi-Fi. Maybe that's why. Just a minute.
Okay. Hello, hello, hello. We are live again.
Good morning. Good morning. We have 2 viewers, you and me.
It's you and me.
Yeah. So good morning. We are Iced Vanilla Latte Vlog. And thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
You're probably watching a rerun because you're not live right now with us, but this was a last minute show. So we thank you for joining us. We thought we would do a quick live and talk about how to travel the Philippines on a budget. We've done that several times, and we've learned a few tips and tricks, and there's probably a lot that we haven't learned yet. And we'll probably do more of these videos as we continue to travel, but we have learned some things. So thank you for watching. So just a little bit about us. Thank you for joining. We have 5. It looks like we have 5 people right now. Thank you for joining. My name is Jeremy McCaslin. I am from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Hi. We have 11 people joining right now, and this is Irene from Pampanga, Arayat, Philippines. And today's live is how to travel the Philippines on a budget. How to travel the Philippines on a budget. So I have visited the Philippines myself. I was about to say 13 times because we have 13 viewers right now. But that kind of threw me. Haven't been there 13 times. 17 viewers now. Hello, West. Hello, is it Kazakhs? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. J Mark. Hello. Hello. Welcome. We have a lot of people joining us now. Thank you. We're just getting started. And today's live, again, if you're just joining, my name is Jeremy McCaslin. This is Irene. We are from...
Hello.
Yeah, we are from, well, I'm from USA, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Irene is from Pampanga, Arayat, Philippines. So we're so glad, and Irene disappeared. Hopefully she'll be right back with us. It could be an internet issue. So today we're going to talk about on our live how to travel the Philippines on a budget. So I don't know if you've ever been to the Philippines before. Let us know in the comments if you've been or if you have any tips and tricks. You might know something that we don't know. I personally have been to the Philippines 7 times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've been 7 times, and Irene has been over 30 years in the Philippines. So we won't say how
Over
many
30
times.
years.
Over
Yeah.
30 years. We'll just say over 30 years. So anyway, we want to thank you for joining. Feel free to give us your tips and tricks. Just 1 second, guys. Hold on.
Elisha. We're having technical problem. Wait a second, guys. We're fixing.
All right, I am back. So let's talk about how to travel the Philippines on a budget. Tips and tricks. A few things that I've learned from traveling, and a little bit on my travel. I've been to a decent number of places in the Philippines. I've been to, of course, Manila is where you normally fly into if you're traveling internationally. You probably always fly into Manila. I'm not sure. I would think that you always fly in to Manila. Then you would take a plane to other spots. Um, so I've flown into Manila, and I've been all around Manila. I've seen quite a bit of Manila. There's still a lot to see. I've been to, um, of course, Pampanga. We've been up north, and I'll let Irene touch on some of the places we've been up north. We've been. Hey guys, I think we're having a technical issue. Just 1 second, please.
Learn more. Sorry, guys. Our signal is.
Sorry, guys, we're having a bit of a technical issue. I think we're getting it fixed. So, anyway, I've been down to Cebu. I've been to Mindanao. I've been to most recently um,
Palawan.
Palawan. Thank you. I knew it started with a P. So we've been all over. And
I need to get my charger first. Yeah.
okay, so some of the things that some of the tips and tricks that I've learned. Number one is, especially the international trip, if you're flying into the Philippines, which this isn't really traveling the Philippines, but you have to get there before you can travel the Philippines. If you're buying an international ticket, you really need to start looking at tickets to get the best price at least 3 months in advance. 6 is normally better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And check multiple sites. You know, I have only flown Philippine Airlines. There are other airlines. Sometimes you can get a better price. But one thing that I would caution you is a better price. You know, just because the price is a little better doesn't mean it's a better flight. So you really need to look at the flight details. If you're purely just going for price, that's different. But as an example, you know, if you're going to just save a little bit of money, you know, $50, $70, or whatever you consider a little bit of money, and you have to fly into another country and you have a 10 or 20 hour layover, then you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it to save 10 or $20 or 50 or $70 or $100? And you know, one of the concerns I would caution you on, and one reason I like the direct flight on Philippine Airlines, is because what if you have a limited time to spend in the Philippines, and what if you have a layover somewhere, and for some reason, you know, there's a weather condition, there's a mechanical condition, something happens, and you have to stay longer in that country. And of course, that cuts your time short in the Philippines. Now, you may be okay with that. You might look at that as an adventure and say, "Hey, I get to visit Taiwan or Korea, spend a couple days." So that's fine. if you don't mind that, or if you have flexibility in your schedule. But if you don't have flexibility in your schedule and you're purely just looking at the dollars, it could end up costing you more if you're just trying to save a few dollars if you get delayed. So when you're looking at your plane tickets to fly to the Philippines, don't just look at price. Look at the layover. How long will I be in this city? Do I want to spend 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours in this airport? Is that worth the savings? So if it is, by all means, maybe it's a huge savings. Do it, but you can't always just look at the price. You have to look at what you're receiving. So that's the tip I would give for booking internationally. Like I said, I have flown Philippine Airlines. I believe United also now flies direct to the Philippines. There could be some other airlines also out of the U.S. I haven't looked at all of them, but I know United flies direct. I know some of the other airlines fly to the Philippines, but I'm not sure if they fly direct or not. I do know United and Philippine Airlines
I
definitely
think
flies
Cathay
direct.
Pacific also.
What's that?
Cathay Pacific.
Cathay Pacific, they fly direct from U.S. to Philippines?
I think, yeah.
Maybe. I've never even seen Cathay Pacific in the U.S., so maybe they do. But that you can, I could be wrong. You can definitely check that out. So, hang on just a second. So that is my advice for getting to the Philippines. Is the biggest expense that you're going to have is your trip there. Once you're there, getting around, which we'll talk about, moving around, hotels, flights, buses, it's really very affordable. So um, yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about moving around the Philippines once you're there and how to move around on a budget. Hey babe, there's a little bit of feedback. I don't know what that is. Um, oh, it stopped. Did you? There it goes again. I'm not sure.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, there's like a I don't know. Yeah, just a little feedback. Maybe it's just on my end.
Okay.
So let's talk about moving around the Philippines. We have found that like I said, I usually fly in on Philippine Airlines, but we have found Cebu Pacific to be a good option for getting around the Philippines. We've found that to be a good option. So um, anyway, check the different airlines. And we recently, as an example, flew to Palawan, and we were able to go from Manila to Palawan, both of us round trip for less than $100 US. And sometimes they even have better deals than that, but that was really inexpensive. So that was round trip from Manila to Palawan to how do you say Puerto Princess? Yeah, I can't say it. We were able to go there round trip, both of us, for less than $100 round trip. Then, so check Cebu Pacific Airlines, and there's a lot of promotions where you can fly different places to different islands very inexpensively. So check that. I haven't found that you have to buy those way in advance. Your international ticket, you want to get that at least 3 to 6 months in advance. But the other tickets, it's not. it's not as crucial to buy them that far in advance. Maybe you do save a little bit if you buy it in advance rather than last minute. The other tip and trick, let me get back on here real quick. Iced vanilla latte, I got kicked off. The other tip and trick is download, and Babe, I'll let you talk in a minute, but or you can jump in and talk anytime, is what I meant.
It's okay.
Yeah, for some reason, I am looking at our live and I only see you on it. I see me on the screen. I think we're having a technical issue.
Yes, we are coming and go. We are. It disappears a few times already.
Yeah. Oh, there we are. Okay. So
You know?
hopefully you guys can see us and hear us. It's being kind of glitchy today. So one app that I would highly recommend that you download and use in the Philippines, and it's good in other Asian countries as well, is Grab. Grab is really a great way to get around. It's
Yeah.
not available. It's not available everywhere in the Philippines. Some of the towns
The
that
province.
are in the province, which province means outside of the city. Some of them it's not available. It depends on where you are.
Yeah.
But Grab is like Uber. It works the same way as Uber. But the good thing about it is you can book your trip and it tells you upfront how much the fee is going to be. So there's no negotiating, there's no getting charged more, anything like that. So, tip and trick, I highly recommend that you download the app Grab. You can also use it like Uber Eats, to order food to your hotel room. So
You can also use it for booking hotels and flights also.
you can use Grab for booking hotels and flights. You just
Yeah.
taught me it. Okay, well I haven't seen that. You just taught me a tip and trick. I've only used it for transportation and food, ordering food. So those are a few of the tips and tricks. What tips and tricks? I have more, but what do you have? What are your thoughts?
I don't have.
So those are a few. Another another thing that I would say, and is if you try to eat as far as food. If you just eat at the Western style restaurants, and they have Western style restaurants, they have Texas Roadhouse, they have Olive Garden, they have a lot of Western style restaurants. The prices are going to be the same or very comparable as they are in the West. And
Local foods.
try to eat more local food. Now, you have to make the decision if you're going to eat street food. That's on a case by case basis, and that would be true of any country. But you know, definitely the restaurants. The restaurants, I think, have higher standards than someone just cooking on the street. So, but eat local because you're supporting the local economy. Number one,
Yeah.
you're eating local food. You can eat at Olive Garden. If you live in the West, you can eat there anytime you want. So why eat at places? Now we do sometimes, and sometimes we'll grab something local, but try to eat local. If you want to eat at a chain though, and it's pretty inexpensive, it's not as cheap as restaurant, but Jollibee
That
is,
would be a good choice.
yeah, it's a good choice. It's more expensive than local. It's more expensive than just locally owned restaurants, but it's not. It's like McDonald's prices. It's fast food, and Jollibee. They do have McDonald's all over the Philippines, but Jollibee is. I think it's more popular and even more well known. I mean, everybody knows McDonald's, but they have
Yeah.
Jollibee on every street corner, and not really, but They have it everywhere.
Nice.
So
Everywhere.
almost everywhere. So, eat local. That is another tip and trick on traveling on a budget. Eat
Or
local.
you can make your own food.
You can always make your own food. You can always make your own food. Sometimes you can rent a little condo in different places in the Philippines, and you can rent a condo for what you would pay for a hotel. So if you like to cook, or if you don't mind cooking, you can cook your own food. So that is a good way to budget and stay under budget. And sometimes we share, like if we go out to eat, we'll share something. And sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. So you can always share. That's a good way to stay in a certain budget.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about hotels. Let's talk about where to stay, how to get good deals, and all of these names or businesses that I'm mentioning. They in no way support our channel, so we have no connection to them other than I'm one of their customers. So that's why I recommend them. So I have used the app Priceline for many, many years, probably 20 years. And Priceline owns, I believe, I could be wrong, but they either own or they're partnered with
Agoda.
what's it? Agoda. So Agoda is basically the Priceline of Asia. And I still book through Priceline sometimes, and when I'm there, I can still book through Priceline, but a lot of times the itinerary comes back that it's through Agoda. So download the Agoda app. That's another app that you need on your phone. And I would look at several websites, but what I would recommend when it comes to hotels, if you could, is check with the hotel directly and see what their prices are and compare that to what's on the app. Sometimes the app is cheaper, sometimes it's cheaper just to go directly to the hotel. So, check, but the Agoda app is a great way to know if it's the hotel you're looking at is a good price. And you can also look at pictures, you can look at reviews.
Yeah.
Other people have stayed there, and that's a good way to really get information. So how much should you expect to pay on hotels? Well, just like any place else in the US or Canada or Australia or any country, there's going to be different budgets, different types of um, hey, ice, baby. Good evening, guys. David. Um, there's going to be different options, different price points. So it depends on. There's going to be something for everyone, and that would be true. That would be true anywhere. But I would say, on average, you can stay. This has just been my experience. You can stay in really, really nice places for $40 to $60. Let's just call it $50 US. So about 2,500 to 3,000 pesos. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's right.
That would be for something really nice. Now it's not going to be nice like what's the place that we've never stayed at that's there in BGC? The really not the Four Seasons. What's it called? They have a couple locations.
Shangri-La.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Shangri-La. That would be like 20,000 pesos a night or something like that. Quite way out of packaging. Don't take a package holiday. I did. Took me a week to fight my way out of packaging. I'm assuming by a package holiday you mean where you bundle everything together, the flight, hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I can see how that's probably not a good idea. I would just book it on. And look, honestly, travel agents are probably going to be mad at me saying this. You don't really need a travel agent going to the Philippines. So,
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't talk to people that have been there or watch these videos or I got bundled up and put in the packaging. This guy's funny.
Yeah.
So talk to people, watch videos, and you can learn a lot that way, but you don't really. It's not as it's not as complicated as you think. Download the apps, and a lot of times, what I recommend, depending on how long you're going to be there and what your plans are. A lot of times I don't book all of my hotels up front because I want some flexibility,
Yeah.
to move around. Yeah, they're snapping their pencils in half an anger. Yeah, I doubt it. But I don't know that travel agents do a lot with the Philippines. I'm not sure, but yeah, make sure that you do your research. The apps are what I recommend. You definitely need the Agoda app. You need the Grab app. Those two apps will help you travel on a budget and look at a couple of different places. So as far as again going back to budgets on hotels, something really nice. And again, not talking about nice Shangri-La nice. That's on a whole different level. But something Lucy Warren's World, welcome. Something really nice, really clean, very what I consider nice would be around $50 a night or 2,500 to 3,000 pesos per night. Now you can get something clean and very comfortable in the 20 to 25, $20 to $30 range a night. There's a lot of those. In fact, I'll give a shout out to one hotel. It's a small chain that they do a pretty good job. It's not elaborate. It's not fancy at all. I want to be clear. This hotel is not fancy. If you're looking for fancy, it's a place to sleep and it's very clean and it's nice. The one that they have a few locations around Manila. My Stay. Yeah. So we'll give them a shout out, My Stay. I think they do. Did you like My Stay? I think they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not fancy at all. It is not fancy at all. But it's the locations are pretty good. It's clean, and you're going to spend US about $20 a night, or Philippines peso about a thousand peso, I think, right?
Yeah, 1,200.
Yeah, around 1,000, maybe a little bit more, depending on what day you're going to go. So My Stay is a good option if you want somewhere clean and comfortable, but fancy isn't necessarily that important to you. Another hotel that I would give a shout out to is that we've stayed at several times. One of my favorites in the Manila area is City Garden Grand.
Yes.
Yeah, City Garden Grand. So beautiful hotel, excellent staff. That hotel, you're going to spend between $50 on the low end, $50 to $100 US. So, right, would you say 3 to 5,000 peso? I think.
3 to 5.
Yeah, five. I don't think I've paid five. I don't think I paid that much. So maybe 3 to 4,000 pesos. So,
Sometimes they have
6.
promotions.
Yeah, they have promotions. So $60 to $80 US is what I would say. But that's luxury, and that's right in the heart of Makati. Right close to everything. So City Garden Grand is a great location. Marble Hotel in Beirut is nice. You can't miss the hotel. It has bullet holes in the wall. Wow. Well, you probably can't miss that one. I don't know that I would. Yeah, I don't know that I. Not really, not right now. So I'll stick with maybe eventually. Maybe eventually. So just a quick recap, guys, and we'll wrap it up here. But a few, again, the travel tips for your international ticket. If you are traveling to the Philippines, I recommend Philippine Airlines. I recommend a direct flight. I haven't found it to be that much more expensive than some of the airlines that have long layovers. Normally, if you book it far enough in advance, it's about $100, one to $200 US more. And for me, that's worth it to have the direct flight,
Yeah.
but you have to decide for yourself. So I like Philippine Airlines. They fly direct from Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and New York, actually. So they fly from New
What?
York. What's that?
New York. New York.
New York, yeah. So I haven't done that flight, but I have flown Seattle, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So I recommend Philippine Airlines. I do recommend now I will tell you Philippine Airlines will nickel and dime you for everything. And I don't want to talk bad about them. I recommend them, but if you need to make a change,
Oh.
even if you're a loyal customer, they will charge you for everything. So that's the only thing, and that could be true of other airlines too, but that's been my experience with Philippine Airlines. New York, so good they named it twice. That's right. It's like hello.
Yeah. He said he'll be moving to Philippines permanently.
Coming back to the Philippines. Oh, well, welcome, Mabuhay. Thank you for jumping on our channel, David.
Yeah, thank you, David.
Hope to see you again. So, Philippine Airlines direct flight, book it 3 to 6 months in advance. That's my recommendation, at least 3 months in advance. The best time to travel to the Philippines is between December and May, really, I would say, or March, or I mean, April. That's the best time. Of course, I've been other times, but those are going to be the best time. Not the best time for price necessarily, but just weather. December is a little pricey. And one other thing I would say as far as budget, when you're looking at your ticket,
Thank you, David.
it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Thank you, David. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you. Come back and see us. When you're looking at your ticket, the more flexible you can be on the days and dates, that's going to save you money. So if you have to fly out on a particular date and fly back on a particular date and you have no flexibility, that's going to cost you more money. But sometimes just 1 or 2 days different can save you hundreds of dollars. So, look at different dates as that's a tip and trick. Look at different dates. So that's one of the tips and tricks. Download the Agoda app, download the Grab app. You need those 2 apps. Most hotels within the Philippines, you can get, the day of or the day before. You don't really need to book those way in advance. I like to have the one booked that I'm going to stay at when I get in. So after a 15-hour flight, I'm not trying to book it or decide. I like to do that. But that's up to you. Transportation, again, Grab is a good option. There's buses, there's bus terminals everywhere. Buses are cheap. What's that?
You can use jeepneys to ride the jeepney.
Jeepneys are very cheap, very inexpensive. I think tricycles are inexpensive. One suggestion I would say is make sure that you're clear with the tricycles. Jeepneys, I've never had a problem, but with tricycles, make sure that they're clear on exactly how much it's going to be before you take the ride. Because if you're not from the Philippines, sometimes they'll want to change the price on you. Has been my experience. So not always, but some people do that. So make sure that you know what the price is going to be. Jeepneys, tricycles are good options, and Grab is, if you're able to take Grab though, Grab is it's very inexpensive. About the most I've ever paid for Grab, like on a longer trip, if it is maybe $10 US, five or 600 pesos. Does that sound about right? Mm-hmm. That would be for a more expensive trip, I think.
around Manila is less than 1,000 if you're just in Manila.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're going, far in Manila, yeah, way less than 1,000. I don't think I've ever spent that much. But
if you will go out of Manila, they will not take you anymore because it's only like if it's they can only like accommodate like 1,000 only. If it exceeds to 1,000, they will not take you.
Yeah, so if it's too far of a trip, but my point is, most Grab rides that you're going to take, if it's not a crazy far distance, most of them I think are going to be about 200 to 300 pesos, which is, well, that's way less than 1,000. 200 to 300 pesos does that sound right? I think we're having a technical issue. So, 200 to 300 pesos would be about $5 US. So very inexpensive. What's that?
My signal is not good. I kept disappearing.
No, that's okay. Well, hey guys, thanks for joining. If you have any questions or if you have any tips or tricks on traveling in the Philippines, comment below. And we appreciate you watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for joining Ice Vanilla Latte Vlog. We'll see you next time.